There will be no ban on plastic bottles. That's the word from NEPA this evening as it gets ready to expand the list of single-use plastic items that consumers will no longer be able to access. Instead, the National Environment and Planning Agency says the waste it generates will be managed. TVJ's Dashan Hendricks has more.
Come Wednesday, styrofoam food containers will be banned. Adding to the growing list of single-use plastic items, legislators are trying to get out of the waste stream.
The next major focus is, I think, as it relates to your waste stream, is how you handle plastic bottles.
But unlike scandal bags, plastic straws and styrofoam food containers,
PET bottles won't be banned. That's not on the agenda right now.
That despite this statistic.
Approximately 60% of the plastics along our coastline represent PET bottles and styrofoam.
So why ban styrofoam, plastic bags and plastic straws while thinking of adding plastic cups, plastic spoons and plastic forks to the list, and not banning plastic bottles, which make up the biggest plastic pollution issue facing the country?
They have useful life after their initial usage, right? They can be recycled, reused, upscaled, reprocessed, unlike styrofoam.
He said the idea is to develop a more robust recycling system involving plastic bottles, this through a deposit scheme which has been developed.
Private sector actually started a fund where they started putting aside $1 per bottle. I believe it was in February of this year, to put aside the money to put in place the capital required for waste sorting of plastic bags and plastic bottles rather, to start the process of a deposit refund scheme as is done in places like Norway, where you bring back your bottles and you get a cash value for those. So I expect that to be upsized significantly in 2020.
The sum paid per bottle will be tripled to $3, and the hope is that it will result in persons returning most plastic bottles instead of throwing them in the garbage.
Based on the program that was launched in September, within 3 years, we'll be returning 85% of the plastic bottles.
That program is now still in its early stage, but he said it will also target bottles already in the environment, with the hope that a monetary incentive will cause people to pick up plastic bottles already causing a garbage nuisance. And then there is another economic incentive being used to deal with plastic bottle waste.
There is a manufacturer who I think has broken ground for a facility in the western Jamaica who will be using PET bottles to make roof tiles. There's another manufacturer who I know wants to use the old plastic bottles in window production. So there is the development, and I'd say our circular economy is in its infancy. But once you get to the space where you have demand for these materials as a raw material in other manufacturing processes, and there's a cash value attached to it, you won't see them.
Dashan Hendricks, TVJ News.